Привет! This is Mila Budylo, and I'm excited to be part of Humans of Telecom.
Hey everyone, a very warm welcome to Humans of Telecom, the Unplugged podcast. This is your host Anurag Aggarwal. As you all know, this is the space where we dig into the real stories behind telecom's most vibrant voices, the ones who lead with both vision and vulnerability, strategy and soul. And today's guest? Well, she is one of the rare few who doesn't just work in telecom, she shapes it. Whether she's on stage at global events driving commercial strategy for one of the most prominent A2P messaging hubs or mentoring the next generation of talent, she does it with a unique blend of sharp thinking, humor, and just the right dose of irreverence. Her expertise spans A2P SMS, alternative messaging, AI voice, and business development. But honestly, it's her energy, authenticity, and fearless style that makes her truly stand out. Recognized by Rocco as one of the top 25 most influential people in telecom, she's impossible to miss. And if you ever do need help spotting her at a conference, just look for the most vibrant hair in the room, be it shocking pink, exotic purple, or something completely unexpected. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming the lovely Mila Budylo, Chief Commercial Officer at BSG. Mila, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this journey. We'd love to hear more about you. Which part of the world do you belong to? And from where are you joining this podcast today?
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to join you. I'm joining you from Uzhgorod, from the westernmost part of Ukraine. And I'm Ukrainian by my origin, and it's lovely outside, sunny weather, a little bit hot summer, but still I'm enjoying our conversation today.
Thank you, Mila. It's so wonderful to finally have you here on the show. And you mentioned Ukraine. So, how are things out there? You mentioned you're in the westernmost part of Ukraine. So, is that a lot peaceful as compared to the other parts of Ukraine? How's life over there?
So the life in Uzhgorod, where I live currently, is okay. It is calm. So actually, we don't experience the horrors of the war as the rest of Ukraine, because the borders of Slovakia and Hungary are very, very close. Actually, the border of Slovakia is within the borders of the city. You are going out of Uzhgorod, and here is the border of Slovakia. But the rest of Ukraine is under attack, especially at nights. Lots of my colleagues had a sleepless night today because of the air sirens and drones and bombs. So it's not so good to live somewhere else.
Yeah, I can totally understand. And my best wishes and hope that things get back to normal as soon as possible for the country. And on that note, Mila, let's switch gears and start talking about Mila. So, you've been in the telecom space for God knows, I don't know how long. I've seen you ever since I got into the telecom industry. And of course, as I mentioned, that it's not very difficult to spot you even from far. So, let's hear a bit about Mila's journey. How has your journey been? Did you accidentally get into the space of telecom? Was this something planned? And how's the journey been for you so far?
So honestly, like most of us, I suppose, I got to telecom by accident. I didn't wake up one day and thinking, oh, ATP messaging, that is my destiny. No. So I started at a linguistic university as a lecturer, and I was dreaming of an academic career, becoming a professor someday in linguistics. But then reality hit. I realized I was too tired of teaching, and I realized I hate kids. Just kidding here. I don't hate kids really, but it was all about money. I had to work 3 jobs just to cover the basics. I was a lecturer at the university. I was a teacher at the evening courses for adults, and also I had private lessons. And just one day, I was tired of this. I sent out my CV and got an offer from a company that was providing branded content services to Ukraine's biggest operators, Vodafone and Kyivstar. And just like that, I stepped into the magical world of telecom. That was 19 years ago. And no, I still haven't managed to escape.
Wonderful. And how's your journey in BSG been? I think you are synonymous with this company's name. So how has that journey been for Mila?
I joined BSG 7 years ago. Of course, there were highs and lows, but I'm still with the company. I'm doing my best to make our services better. I do my best to make our services and products better on the wholesale part, on the enterprise part. We are doing and investing lots to our CPaaS service at the moment. And it was not easy at all, again, because back in 2022, when our focus was still on CIS countries, we had to change our focus, and we started focusing on Eastern European countries after the war started. So it was quite a challenge for us as well. And those were the times, thanks to our trusted partners in telecom world, we survived these hard times, and we managed even not to decrease the revenues, but actually grow the revenues of ours. So working for BSG turned out to be quite challenging, but I really like my company, my team, and I really appreciate every colleague of mine.
Wonderful. And within this entire journey, if there is one moment which you've been feeling as a very impactful moment in your career, what would that one moment be?
You know, Honestly, I feel like the real wow moment is still ahead of me. So there have been plenty of highs, lows, different awards, big wins, painful lessons, exciting partnerships, big deals. And while all of these moments were important, none of them felt like this is it. So I'm proud of my journey for sure, but I also believe I'm still building towards that one moment that will truly make me stop and say, damn, that was big. So just stay tuned.
Interesting. I think this is the first time somebody has given such a take that the most impactful moment is still to come. And I know
Yeah,
Mila, who had so many interesting experiences, but I guess that's the quality of Mila, somebody who's so energetic and so daring and always looking for the next big adventure. So, yes, okay, I take that as an answer. And I wish you all the very best for that, the impactful moment in your career.
thank you.
All right. And let's talk a lot more about the human side of Mila. So now, Mila, the industry knows you so well. Everybody knows Mila Budylo. But if there is something shocking or unknown about Mila, what would that one thing be?
Okay, so this one. So I'm absolutely terrified of horses. Yeah, of these beautiful creatures. And the funny part is, I didn't even know it myself until about maybe 10 years ago. My friends invited me to go horseback riding. It sounded fun first, but when we drove out to a stable, they helped me onto this gigantic horse. And the second I got on, she started moving, like bouncing, trotting. And it was my first time on a horse, and I panicked. I begged them to get me off immediately. So while my friends were enjoying a ride in the forest, I was sitting in the car smoking, just like, I just survived a big trauma. Never again. Horses and I have, a mutual understanding now. I admire them from afar, and they just don't try to kill me. That's it. Yep, I'm terrified of horses.
That's quite an interesting one. And I guess then for all our listeners here, make sure that no one is horsing around Mila when you catch up with her. Because the lady is very clear. No horses around her. Perfect. All right, Mila. And while we know something that you're not fond of, but if we ask you something which is your passion or interest, something that really recharges Mila, what would that one or two things be?
Mhm. So when I'm tired, I usually go for a walk with my three Chinese crested dogs. And honestly, these dogs, sometimes I think that these dogs have more personalities than some people I've met. Also, I live in the countryside now near a city called Uzhgorod. So my place is surrounded by mountains and it's incredibly beautiful here. So when I take my dogs for a walk, it's like a walk into the mountains, I would say. And also I love watching thrillers. And adding sometimes a touch of dark humor whenever life gets too serious. And also, my passion is road trips, always road trips. I drive a blue Volkswagen Beetle and preferably with 1980s pop music. So that's it.
Perfect, Mila. And other than that, I can vouch for Mila that when it comes to being the soul of a party, for sure, Mila is the right person. So I think a lot of her energy and her batteries recharge when she's at the evening gala dinners or parties or what have you at our amazing industry events. And for sure, you can always see Mila out there adding spark and life into the fun evenings. So, Mila, that's one thing which I'll add from my side.
Thank you.
All right. And the next question, a very interesting one, which we play with our guests. So tell us three statements. Two of them have to be truths. One of them has to be a lie. And I'll try and guess which one of them is a lie. So do you have three such statements for us today?
Yes, sure. So, statement number one, I'm a movie blogger with 80K followers. Number two, my surname translates from Ukrainian as alarm clock. And number three, I've jumped with a parachute 3 times in my life, and I plan to do it again when the sky is safe in Ukraine. So these
Okay.
are my three statements.
All right, Mila. So if I get it right, you are saying that you are a movie blogger with over 80,000 followers. You have a surname which is Ukrainian and literally translates to alarm clock. And lastly, you have at least thrice jumped with a parachute and you look forward to many more such adventures. So these are your three statements, right?
Right? So where is the lie?
Well, so Mila, knowing you jumping with a parachute and such adventure sports, it seems quite probable. So I'm gonna say that definitely you've done that. Being a movie blogger, again, I would believe that you're fond of movies and you have a creative flair. So, being a movie blogger and having a tremendous fan following. So, I can believe that because just like you have a fan following in telecom, I can imagine a worldwide fan following of your movie blogging as well. And your surname translating into alarm clock. That's an interesting one. I hope that's true as well. And if there is an interesting story to share, but just for the sake of this round, I'm going to say that's a lie. And the first and third ones are true. So is that correct?
No. So actually, I have a fear of heights. So I would never ever jump with a parachute in my life. Actually, I spend lots of time in the air on a plane, but it's okay for me. Whenever I'm firmly standing somewhere, whenever I'm having some like ground under my feet, I'm okay. But just looking underneath makes me horrified. So I would never jump with a parachute. So it's a lie from me. It's not a right fact. But about my surname being translated as an alarm clock, it is right. So, it's a part of my personality. I'm a little bit loud when I'm speaking, and I hope no one is, going to sleep while I'm around. And about a movie vlog, yep, I have a movie vlog on Instagram. And when the life in Ukraine was normal, I was somehow working with movie distributors and I was invited into different movie parties, movie premieres. So I was sharing my thoughts about the movies, writing reviews about movies. Later on, when it all started, I just put my blog onto a pause and now I'm thinking to revive it again.
Awesome. So that's very interesting. So yeah, you're right. As far as the alarm clock bit goes, you're right. Nobody sleeps around Mila. So definitely I'm going to take that. And movie blogging, interesting. I am quite fascinated to know that you've been so ardently blogging about movies, and that's quite a fan following. So, when we do release the episode, if possible, do drop in a link to your movie blog, and it would be good for some of us to get a sense of that side of Mila as well.
Sure, but it's all in Ukrainian, so I don't know whether it will be okay for most of the guys, maybe for the Ukrainians, yep, but still, I have some followers from the industry as well.
Absolutely. So I think there are some Ukrainian followers of Humans of Telecom as well. And I think other than that, in today's day and age of I think translating your movie blogs would not be so much of a challenge. So, yep, we all look forward to seeing them.
Sure, sure.
All right. And Mila, if in this fantastic and fun life of yours, is there any one thing about your life you'd like to change?
Um, I think that every experience, every decision, right or wrong, it shaped who I am today. So even the messy parts had their purpose. So I don't regret of any of it. But if we're not so serious here, so I wish I had started dyeing my hair bright colors earlier. So I've been, doing it for the last 8 years, and it makes me feel amazing. Blue, orange, purple, pink, red. I've done it all. I think except for green, and I think that's the only one left, really. So should have started sooner because again, life is just better in color. So I would started dyeing my hair color earlier.
Well, anyways, I'm glad that you picked up on that trend now. And I think we all wait with bated breath at every event to see that will be the flavor of season that Mila comes out in.
So for the next year, it will be pink because I'm usually changing my color once a year. So till next spring, you will see me only in pink.
Perfect, perfect. That's good to know. And so that we're prepared for it.
Mhm.
All right, Mila. And on that note, well, we're having an amazing conversation, but we're down to our final question. So, our signature sign off question: what does being human mean to you? What sort of a human being would you want the world to remember you as?
Oh, being human means showing up even when you are tired. I'm sure your life is chaotic. It means laughing at yourself, helping others even when there's nothing in it for you, and being brave enough to tell the truth. I'd love to be remembered as the kind of person who didn't just talk but did, someone who challenged the life, lifted others up, and added just, the right amount of rebellion to the room, preferably with coffee in hand and with a witty one liner ready. So that's it.
Perfect. And I think, Mila, whoever has interacted with you will agree that these qualities that you want the world to remember you by is something that you are already exhibiting. And I wish you all the very best for the journey ahead, whether it's in terms of the adventures to come or the new hair colors that we'll see, or some of the more exciting aspects of your career, which are still to come by. I wish you all the very best. And thank you for your time here. And I hope our paths cross soon at some point of time.
For sure, our paths will cross. Thank you, Anurag, for inviting me. It was really interesting to be a part of your podcast. So, and I think and I hope that those who will listen to this podcast will enjoy it and find out some interesting information about me.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you once again, Mila. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. And to all our wonderful listeners here, thanks a lot for tuning into the show. We hope this episode gave you a good glimpse of the human side of Mila Budylo, a proud and bold Ukrainian who hustled through multiple jobs and stayed afloat, and is now a global telecom leader with a fearless spirit and an incredible knack for reinvention. Someone who is a linguistic by education and began her journey as an English teacher, but has now stumbled into telecom and has never looked back. Someone who loves her road trips and great outdoors, but smartly keeps a safe distance from horses. And lastly, a passionate movie blogger and the life of every party, literally as the name goes, the human alarm clock. That for us is Mila Budylo. So, if you enjoyed today's episode, do stay tuned in because we shall soon be releasing yet another episode and another compelling story from the telecom space. And do follow the podcast on your preferred streaming channel. On behalf of Humans of Telecom, this is your host Anurag Aggarwal signing off for now. Take care.